I would say that in order to have a career that's going to be long, you won't necessarily have to be passionate, but you do have to like it enough to want to continue to learn. The moment you stop liking it and just there to show up, you'll be left behind and potentially may not have a job anymore. Drop something for y'all real quick, vlog style. I'm on paternity leave, just got a new little girl. Should be a week tomorrow. So maybe I'll drop this in the morning. Who knows? Yeah, man. There's been a lot going on. Some big things are coming. Let me fix this, man. That's why I gotta put this on my stand next time. I look stupid. Big things are coming. I got some videos. I got some content I want to shoot. Everybody, I'm still helping people get into tech. I'm gonna walk through by this pool real quick. Let me talk about the pool. I'm going to work out. I got my workout bag on my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Can't get fat while I'm off, because all you gonna do is sit around and eat anyway. It's feeling good, man. But check it out. So I'm gonna title this. I ain't scripted, but I'm gonna title it about. It was a thing last week, and it was basically I think people was like talking about not being passionate about tech. Do you have to like tech to be good at it? And I didn't really get a chance to weigh in on it, But I'm a freestyler now. Y'all tell me what you think. I get the gist of some people saying they don't either. Well, I think some people say they weren't passionate. I don't think they said they like it, because truth be told, you have to like it somewhat to do it. So hopefully they like it enough to do it. I'm gonna give you how I feel about it. I like to work with people that like what they're doing, because the people that don't tend to BS on my team. And I don't like that. They just show up for a check and you can tell them they work. I don't like that. Now, I think why some of these comments came up was because I think some of these people at one point used to like do career stuff or teach people how to get in tech and stuff like that. So, you would assume someone would be passionate about that, but maybe they were passionate about helping people get in, but not actually doing the work. I'm a mix of both. I really love what I do because I can move in many different directions, and with some of this next news, you're gonna see that that's what I can do, and it keeps me on my toes, keeps me interested. Now, some people may do some roles that are a lot, kind of like mundane and a lot of repetition. So I can get that. I definitely can get that. I'm really mad they got this thing closed. Let's see. I would say that in order to have a career that's going to be long, you won't necessarily have to be passionate, but you do have to like it enough to want to continue to learn. The moment you stop liking it and just there to show up, you'll be left behind and potentially may not have a job anymore. That's how I feel about that. Moving on, I'm passionate about helping people and getting the tech. If you made this far right now, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm working on my ebook right now. It's going to be awesome. It's going to help a lot of people get into cybersecurity without actually having to book with me, without actually having to possibly even be, a subscriber, like for us, like to coaching. So that's the mindset behind it. Be on the lookout for that. That's going to be coming soon. That's one of the things. Talking about Twitter, it's been a lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna touch on this actually. Shout out to Mary. But so Mary had a tweet, and I'm probably gonna try to put it on the screen. Some people like, after you get a cert, really should not be the time that you go and apply to new positions. And I have to agree because I know her context was a little different. Because from my experience, and I get why she said that, is people go get a cert, and we're gonna talk about the infamous Sec Plus all day, every day. It's a foundational cert, one of the easier ones to, not easy as in like the test is super easy, but far as there's not a lot of barriers to entry. You don't have to have X amount of experience, or companies don't have to sign off on you getting it, like a CEH or CISSP or something like that. So I'm gonna say Sec Plus. A lot of times they'll get the Sec Plus and then start applying, and then not get callbacks. But it's only because you only have a cert, you don't have any practical experience. Sometimes people don't even have tech experience, and you're thinking that's going to help you get the job, when it takes a little bit more than that. Labbing, working on the skills, working on some projects, networking. It's a whole bunch of things. And then another dude, he decided to put his 2 cents in and talk about some, I had to disagree. I got my A plus and now I'm a tier 2 support engineer making $60,000. Cool. For one, though, you're an anomaly, and two, support engineer roles aren't that competitive, and it's not a knock on it because I was there at one point in time too. So I'm not knocking his job, shout out to him getting the money, but that's not a competitive role. People aren't trying to aim to get that. People are trying to move in cyber engineering, GRC. Well, it's not as competitive as the other one. You got blue team, red team, purple team, all these type of, fancy and attractive roles people are trying to do. So it's cool and all that you can say that, yeah, I got an A plus and I got a job. I'm happy for you, bro. But it don't always work like that. So that's not really the advice you want to give people. Because if I'm just telling you, hey, go get a cert and then start applying, it's going to take you longer than it should to get a position. And that's one thing my ebook is going to show you about. It's like how to navigate that, like what to do, how to get where you need to go, how to go from A to B. You know what I'm saying? That is what it is. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to go to the gym. So I'm going to leave y'all with this, and then I'm going to pop back on here after the gym so I can talk to y'all about some stuff. All right, I'm done. I said I was going to the gym, but trainer dude got all his people on there, and it's too loud, man. So, oh, perfect. Nobody's in this business center, so I'm finna go in here real quick. Oh, what's one person in here? But he's in nobody. All right, what's going on, man? Less quiet, more quiet. All right, I'm moving around, man, because dude was in there talking, so I wasn't really trying to impose on what he had going on. But anyways, so the importance of having a coach is this. He hasn't had an internship. He doesn't have necessary experience. I have 5 years experience of being a level 1, being a level 2, being a SOC lead. I know what I'm looking for when I interview people. So I'm telling him, and I'm giving a free game on how to do something, how to answer certain questions. They like to ask questions about repeat offender malware. How would you handle a malicious alert? How would you handle phishing? Authentication alerts where it's like unusual activity. What would you do with cloud alerts like AWS bucket is made public? What would you do to check that? Looking for weird, it's everything. And what I can tell you right here for that free game is that almost most of these, in theory, up here when the first fires is handled the same way. It's a method to working alerts. Everybody does it differently, but it's a certain method because quite honestly, every rule isn't going to have a run book or a playbook or tell you what to do. So you're going to have to think and figure out how do you attack this without knowing what it's doing. So it's a free game, man. Take your pencil out. So if you're in a SOC and let's say a new alert comes, like I've asked a person this, how would you handle a new rule that's fired, that doesn't have any documentation, that doesn't have a run book or a playbook or anything? What would you do? So, and I would say also, this is all contingent on what you have access to in the environment. Some SOCs are just, you don't have access to anything, and some SOCs you have a little bit more access. So my example is we've always had access to look at content, look at the rules that are made in QRadar or Splunk. So one of my things is I always pivot to is like, if it's a rule I never worked on before and it's new, I go and check the correlation search. I check the description, what it was made for, then I research it. And from there, then you glean, say now you have Google. Don't be scared to say you're gonna Google. Then I Google it. Like for example, one of the new alerts we had like last year, or a couple of years ago, which I'll talk about this eventually, but Sharp Hound and Bloodhound. Pretty much typical red team type of stuff, or what an attacker would do if there's an incident going on. But in order to be familiar with what you're looking for, you have to research them. And you kind of think like, let's think about this. Hound dogs, what do they do? They're good noses. And when you're hunting, you use a hound dog to find your prey, what you're looking for. So you put that in your mind with Sharp Hound, Bloodhound, that means somebody is sniffing around, trying to smell something, trying to figure out things in your, like an AD, to look for, how they can escalate privileges and how they can get to certain accounts. And so it's a similar thing. All you have to do is correlate things to real world things. These names do have meaning when you think about the alerts. But anyways, So once you research that, you kind of go to forums, you have Reddit, you have all these type of forums. Most of everybody deals with some of the same alerts when they fire. And so when that happens, now you have a better concept. Now you can say, okay, cool. So this rule just made, never fire for, nobody's ever worked it. And then you can just check it out, service level. But if you want to get real meticulous with it, go back a month, 3 months, 6 months to see if we had this activity already. And then that's when you start formulating your conclusion about if you need to escalate, do you need to close it? Is this a widespread incident? Do I need to get incident response involved? Some of the things right there, you can chronicleize that if you didn't know what something means. That's all you have to kind of break it down to. Don't be scared to ask questions, you know? Even if you don't understand it, say, okay, you know, you ask me about this alert, like, is there a specific alert you're working on? Like, what is this alert looking for? Ask those questions. You'll be surprised people don't ask questions. Don't be scared to ask questions in the interview because they like that. They want you, being in the SOC, you gotta be inquisitive. You can't just be quiet. You need to ask questions. The better questions you can ask, the more alerts you can solve, and the better results you can get. So always remember that. I was also giving them some tips. I'm giving them some tips on what to ask in the interview to be self-aware and improve yourself to be better than the other candidate. He says came out of him, another person. So hopefully they rock with him. Hopefully the vibes are nice. But those are some of the things that you wouldn't necessarily know about if you never had experience. And so if you kind of like a little bit of what I just showed you, man, right now I'm not taking any new clients, a couple weeks off, like I said, paternity leave. But if you like that, you know, tune in with me, check out the site. I do have a new policy for my coaching clients. And so it's different. So when you go on the site, you'll see the new price change. I'm working on a lot of things. Like I said, the ebook, man, this ebook is really, you know, a lot of stuff that you heard me say in these videos is going to be reiterated, but in a tangible service. I'm going to provide you guys with products. So, you know, I'm going to make a mailing list for that pretty soon. Check that out. Get at me on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Like I said, man, I really rock with y'all. Y'all getting me far. Like, you know what I'm saying? My goal is let's get to 3,000 subs. But it's your boy HD, and I'm out.